Okay, this is what I think about UHS 1 versus UHS 2. This is a UHS 1 card. UHS 2 has extra pins at the bottom here that allows memory cards to write faster and read faster than normal UHS 1 memory cards. This is what I think is going to happen to memory cards in the future. These UHS 1 memory cards, yes, it has gotten faster over time. Now this one can read up to 200 megabytes per second. But what I think is going to happen in the future is that the UHS 2 cards would would eventually take over, and manufacturers will stop making UHS 1 cards. That is what I think would happen to memory cards in the future. Since the UHS 2 cards are a lot faster, UHS 1 cards, they will not see the need to create more UHS 1 memory cards in the future because UHS 2 is a lot faster. And from what I've seen so far, I know it doesn't mean that this will be the fastest memory card in the future. I know eventually they'll create a faster UHS 1 card, but there will be a limit to how fast memory cards with this number of pins can be. That is why UHS 2 will take over, and then they will create faster UHS 2 cards than they currently have before they create the UHS 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is what I think will happen in the future with memory cards. And eventually, before they stop making memory cards and things like that, blah 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 blah. Smartphones in the future will become faster. All these budgets compared to the budget phones we manufacturers have made now. If you compare the budget phones we have now, they are a lot faster. They are also more expensive, but the card readers that will be inside those budget phones in the future, they will support faster memory cards than they currently do. So maybe those ones would start to use UHS 2 cards, for um, because Android phones have the ability to format SD cards as internal memory. So that is why they will need to be able to access the fastest memory that is available. That is why in order to use your phone to use a memory card as inbuilt memory, you need to use a fast memory card so that apps and games will run smoothly. And because of the limitations of UHS 1, in the future, UHS 1 memory cards would eventually fade away, and then UHS 2 cards will eventually become a norm. Then UHS 2 micro SD cards will be normal in the future because that was what would eventually be required until until they stop making SD cards, because when memory becomes very cheap in the future, budget phones will have a lot more memory than they currently have. Like if you've noticed, 32 gigabytes used to be the highest in the past, although it started with like maybe some megabytes of memory, like maybe 200 or 100 megabytes in the past for budget phones, and then you notice the memory capacities have increased. Nowadays you see budget phones with 256 gigabytes of internal memory with 8 gigabytes of RAM. In the future, maybe you see budget phones with 1 terabyte of inbuilt memory, maybe UFS 2.2. At that time, the inbuilt memories would have been a lot cheaper because other companies would have created higher capacity of memory cards that support higher faster speed. You know, with maybe there are 7, 8, 9. That is how the future will be. And that is why UHS-1 cards will fade away, and eventually micro SD cards will fade away, and then SD cards in the future will no longer exist. That is when memory becomes extremely cheap for smartphones and other devices. What will be used in the future will be CF cards, compact flash. They are like memory cards, but it's like maybe the SanDisk Extreme Pro CF Express. They are like memory cards, but they're bigger. They are a lot faster. You can see some compact flash that can read up to three 2 gigabytes, maybe 2.4 gigabytes of memory, and maybe 1.2 gigabytes of, sorry, I mean 2.4 gigabytes of read speed, and then maybe 1 point something gigabyte of write. With when there's memory that can read and write that fast, I don't see a reason why manufacturers will still see the need to create memory cards when cameras in the future would need faster memory than what SD cards can currently produce. And even in the future, I know in the future they will create faster SD cards, but there's a limitation to how fast a small plastic like this, the amount of how do I put it, like this, like there's a limit to how fast you can make an SD card to be. So at that time they will be using CF until CF gets fade and becomes faded, and they use the kind of SSD that these smaller SSDs that are small as a fingernail that are being used on laptops now. I'm guessing that is what all these removable SSDs. I'm guessing that is what cameras will use in the future when CF cards fade away. That is what will happen in the future. Technology keeps growing, and eventually everything will be outdated. By then, people will still be using memory cards, but that is people who have older technologies. That is what will happen. By then, cameras will be a lot better than they are now. So, yeah, please leave a comment in the below if you have an opinion. If you think what I'm saying is wrong, maybe you can give me a good reason. Maybe you can change my mind so that I can understand why SD cards won't be faded away. Like I can give you an example of what happened in the past, and in the past, having hard drives, hard drives was the norm. That time, SSDs were not in existence. But now, if you look at computers now, everybody's using SSDs. It is only those who have budget laptops that use hard drive. But if you look at how people use those laptops, you notice those people, they notice how slow their laptops are, and they tend to upgrade to SSDs. So that is what will happen in the future with SD cards. SSDs are a lot faster. Memory cards they are fast too, but they will eventually get replaced. If you get what I mean. So goodbye and leave a comment. Thank you.